So I have some new work that I am very, very excited to share with you. We just wrapped up a project with our new friends at Caraway Home. Caraway is a cookware company that just focuses on creating beautiful cookware items. Like cookware so beautiful that you want to leave it out on the countertop. That's their thing. And they asked us to create some renders of their products for their 2020 holiday gift guide. They just published it, which means we can now publish it. Very excited to show you. Before I go any further, I need to tell you that this project was done in collaboration with my good friend and super talented 3D artist, Aaron Bookout. Him and I both did the project for our place, which you might have seen a few months ago. So we buddied up for this project as well, and I legitimately could not have done it without him. Okay, so by the time you're watching this, the project will be live on Behance. So be sure to go over and check that out when you're finished watching this video. I'm gonna pull it up for you so that you can see what the project was, and then I'll just briefly talk through the project with you. So the scope of this project was to create 6 rendered images. 6 images to represent the 6 colorways of their cookware sets. With Caraway being so design focused, they wanted us to swing for the fences and create something that would make them stand out in their industry. They wanted us to build environments for their cookware sets to sit in that would just accentuate the beautiful design that they had created. We were in charge of everything from creating the scenes, from just concepting these environments to compositing the final renders. Each stage was on us, end to end. And of course, their creative team was continually guiding us to make sure that these images would fit their brand. I believe the project began at the end of September, and we had until the middle of October to finish it. The timeline really was a pretty realistic thing to shoot for. But there were 2 big things that happened that really did change the amount of time that we needed to do this. Number 1, we were probably a quarter of the way into the project, and then they approached us to ask if we could include their linen sets in these scenes, which meant that we had to, for one, model those. They had to send us the products in the mail. We had to model those different elements, and then we had to do cloth simulations, and that was, you know, I mean, those sort of things add a lot of time to your renders. Then you're doing separate composites for those things. And the other thing that added a bunch of time to this project that really made that timeline feel very short was the fact that we needed everything to be in 4K and in multiple aspect ratios. So, and it wasn't one of those things where we could just take one huge square image and just crop out these different elements. They actually wanted the elements to be moved for each aspect ratio. We definitely had an all-nighter in there, and actually a couple of those, but we hit that deadline. And you know what? I'm really, really glad that they made those changes. Like, for one, adding the linens made a huge difference, and then also changing to needing 4K resolution. They look beautiful in 4K. So we're very glad that happened. And of course, we upcharged that portion as well. So they did pay more for that change. It wasn't like they were just expecting us to do it without any additional incentive. We used 3 different design programs, 3D design programs for this project. And you may be thinking, why in the world when you could just do it all in one? Well, I use Cinema 4D. Aaron uses Maya and Blender. He actually has 2 computers set up, one with Maya on it and one with Blender. And so, which is really awesome because then you can have one working on a render and you're setting up the next scene. We use Photoshop for compositing. We actually had to do a couple of different renders of each image. One where we would light everything normally and make the pans look great, but when you do that, the metal ends up looking really bad. And so you're not getting very good reflections on the handles and the lid. And so then we would render another image of just lights pointing on those metal handles so that they look really good, and then we take it into Photoshop and composite them together so that the good handles and good metal reflections are on the correct image. You just bake them all together. Then the final thing that we did was just do some color grading and just fix a few blemishes in Photoshop and start to make the photos look less like renders and more like images. And this is a good time to stop and brag on Aaron. He taught me so much about compositing in this project, and I just owe a big thanks to him. Like he's truly the master at anything technical. If you ever have a technical question in one of your 3D projects, call Aaron. He will be there for you and he will fix it. He's the master. Okay, well, it's actually getting really dark outside and my lighting is going away, so I'm gonna end it here. Don't forget to go over to Behance. It, of course, would appreciate if you liked that project. Follow me on there. Also, head over to Instagram. I'll be showing a lot of my work on that as well. So 2 ways to follow my work. Thank you so much for watching. I'll look forward to talking to you next Tuesday. Have a great Thanksgiving.